but it's gonna be blue skies for you and I. We'll step out of the shadows and walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue skies for you and I.
Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Zalits, and today we're going to be talking about Palom, the twin brother to Palom, I believe her name is. And I'm not too sure about what his character is about. Like I said before in previous games, I'm not too familiar with the Final Fantasy IV game because I've never actually played it. But anyways, besides that, let's just jump on into this and we'll be talking about what he does. So he is a magic attacker. Now, I'm pretty sure that he's a black mage, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm assuming he's just gonna have a bunch of spells similar to Pompous. However, he's gonna have a very different variations, I'm assuming. So anyways, let's check out his stat table here, or not stat table, his stat chart, and he has some very appealing stats here. So he has a max base attack stat at 5 stars. He has an abysmal HP and abysmal defense, both at 1 star. He has a whopping max bravery at 5 star. He's also pretty fast at 4 star speed, and his initial bravery is also maxed out at 5 star. So just from the initial impression, he seems to be a very strong character. But I'm not too sure. You know, from what I've seen in the past, he seems to fall off really hard for some reason. But we'll jump into that and we'll see what happens after, you know, we get to that into the command abilities and all that. We'll see what happens. So judging by his stat table, he obviously has very low HP. His initial bravery is high. His max bravery is also very high. His attack is also very high, and his defense is very poor, as stated here in the stat chart or table. Chart table, yeah. But anyways, let's jump into his command abilities now, and let's see what he actually has to use. So he has Bluff. Grants power of black mage for 2 turns and raises bravery based on attack. Okay, turns to Bluff plus after use and turns bravery attack to bravery attack plus for 2 turns. Power of black magic raises attack. So automatically you can already tell he can self buff himself, as well as wait, okay, so this just grants what is Bluff plus? Let's see here. Bluff plus grants power of black magic for 3 turns and raises bravery based on attack. Turns to Bluff plus plus after use, turns bravery attack to bravery attack plus for 3 turns. Condition after 1 use. So I'm guessing after 1 use of Bluff. Okay, so basically what it's doing is it's just turning his bravery attack into a plus attack, but it's not actually really doing anything except raising his own bravery up to this point. Now let's check out Bluff plus plus. Grants power of black magic for 4 turns and raises bravery based on attack. Turns bravery attack to bravery attack plus for 4 turns, and then the condition is after 2 uses. And I'm assuming this is obviously after using this 2 times. Now bravery attack plus, it's just a 1-hit stronger bravery attack while power of black magic is active. Just based on what I'm reading here, it doesn't really seem to be amazing. I'm not sure how strong the actual buff to himself is actually gonna be, but it's not too impressive from like that first ability. Just doesn't seem too impressive right away, from just seeing it here. But maybe in the trailer video we'll get a better idea of what it actually does, because it doesn't seem to be too impressive right now. Mycidia's Ice Crystal, it is a frost 1-hit bravery attack, grants wisdom of black magic for 2 turns, turns to Mycidia's Ice Crystal plus after use, turns HP attack to dual cast for 2 turns, and wisdom of black magic raises max bravery. Okay, so that actually sounds a lot better than the other one. So basically Bluff plus is to essentially buff himself, and then Mycidia's Ice Crystal basically allows him to if it is dual cast, it allows him to attack twice, I'm guessing. So Mycidia's Ice Crystal plus, a 1-hit stronger bravery attack, or frost 1-hit stronger bravery attack, grants wisdom of black magic for 3 turns, turns to Mycidia's Ice Crystal plus plus after use, and turns HP attack to dual cast for 3 turns after 1 use. So essentially, like I don't really understand, like, okay, so I mean, I'm sure it'll all be clear once I watch the trailer video for this, but from what I'm understanding, this one turns the bravery attack into bravery attack plus, and this one changes his HP attack to HP attack plus. And then he gets 2 different types of buff: power of black magic and wisdom of black magic as well. Okay, so I guess that makes sense there. And then his Mycelia's Ice Crystal plus plus, 1 hit stronger bravery attack, grants wisdom of black magic for 4 turns, turns HP attack to dual cast for 4 turns, and then of course it's after 2 uses. So now this is the important part here. This is dual cast. Dual cast is a 2-hit bravery plus HP attack while wisdom of black magic is active. Now that's kind of unimpressive there, because I was expecting dual cast to allow him to actually dual cast abilities, but then again, now that I think about it, that would be kind of pointless, because both of his abilities don't really do much to begin with anyways. Mycelia's Great Ice Crystal requires the Fairy Rod's passive, and now I'm assuming that this is his 35 CP? Perhaps? We'll see when we get to his gear. Mycelia's Great Ice Crystal, 1 hit stronger bravery plus HP attack, requires Fairy Rod's passive effect. So at 1 use left. Okay, so he basically has to have 1 use left on that, and it'll turn that ability into that. And now his final ability, his EX ability, called Stardust. It is a 2-hit AoE bravery plus HP attack, inflicts ice resistance down for 4 turns, which is good because he actually has a frost attack there with his HP attack. Grants ice enchant for 6 turns, follows up with a 5-hit AoE bravery plus HP attack, which sounds really, really good. Moderately increases bravery damage against a single target, which is also good, so that he has AoE and single target capabilities. HP damage is equally divided among all targets, extends the duration of power of black magic and wisdom of black magic by 3 turns, also extends the duration of bravery attack plus and dual cast by 3 turns, and requires Stardust Rod's passive, which I'm pretty sure is his EX weapon. Which I don't know why I said probably. It should be his EX weapon, and then it's only usable once his gauge is full. Now, judging by what I just read here, it seems like his EX weapon is what is going to make him really strong. Other than that, he doesn't really seem to stand out very much. His abilities, like they're pretty much just self buffs, and to make them last longer, you kind of just have to continue to use them over and over and over. Now, which also brings me to the point of how many uses does he actually have on each one? 4 and 3 and 4. It's like, you know, so you're basically only getting like 1. I don't know. It doesn't really. You only get like 1 chance to like fully max out on all these on, like, you know, the plus stuff. So it doesn't really last for very long. So I'm assuming you would have to like bluff and then use the HP attack or the bravery plus attack, like, you know, 2 turns, and then use bluff on like the 2nd turn, so that it continues to stack up. And it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to work very well in my opinion. But we'll see what he actually releases, and we'll see in the trailer video. Hopefully they show us something that indicates it, like, as to whether or not it's actually good or not. Let's move on to his passive abilities here. So let's see, he gets Bluff Light. Slightly reduces action delay after using Bluff. Alright. Critical Bravery gain, grants a small amount of bravery after inflicting a critical hit. That's always good. Break Boost, slightly raises max bravery for 1 turn after breaking an enemy. That's also good. Mycelia's Ice Crystal Light, slightly reduces action delay after using Mycelia's Ice Crystal. Buff Boost, slightly raises max bravery while buffed. That's always good. Max bravery is always good to have. Bluff Attack Up, slightly raises attack for 1 turn after using Bluff. I mean, that's okay. It's probably one of those invisible buffs, just like when Cloud uses Cross Slash, and I believe I think Kuja also has something like that when he uses Ultima. I'm not, don't quote me on that. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was Kuja who has something like that. Back Attack, slightly raises bravery damage upon attacking an enemy that is not targeting the user. Okay, that's an interesting one to have, you know, especially for a mage. Mycelia's Ice Crystal power up, slightly raises bravery damage dealt by Mycelia's Ice Crystal. That's good here. And then he finally, at level 50 gets, or 50 crystal, finally gets Black Mage's Talent. Slightly raises bravery damage inflicted by Bravery Attack Plus and Dual Cast. That's a very interesting one, because we don't usually see 50 crystal passives increasing the damage of our bravery attacks or our HP attacks. So that's a very interesting one to get, and it seems to be, I mean, it won't be super powerful, but it seems to be a really good one. And then these are obviously past here, his level 60 enhancements once they roll around, which won't be for a while for him. I'm pretty sure he doesn't get his for a while. Power of Black Magic Attack Up. Moderately, it raises attack while power of black magic is active. This is good. Like, I mean, he's already his base stats already seem very high, but to add more innate base attack seems to be very, very good for him. Bluff Extend tremendously raises the potency of bravery gain based on attack power, which is good because he already has a lot of attack. Extends power of black magic by 6 turns, which is amazing. Triggers HP attack after use, which is also good because he gains that tremendous amount of max bravery, or not max bravery, but bravery gain. So that's actually pretty good. Extends the duration of bravery attack plus for 6 turns. Bravery attack plus changes from a 1-hit to a 2-hit, and its potency is moderately raised. So it already seems like his 60 enhancements are what make him better, because this is just crazy. These buffs seem really, really good. His level 58 Wisdom of Black Magic boost and speed up moderately raises max bravery and speed while Wisdom of Black Magic is active. This is another good one, mostly because max bravery always, as I always say, max bravery and attack are the bread and butter for attackers, and since he is a mage, you know, having that max bravery, he already has a large amount of base attack, but having more max bravery just allows him to dish out even more damage than he already does. So that's another good one. And then his final passive is Mycidia's Ice Crystal Extend. Extends Wisdom of Black Magic by 6 turns. Triggers HP attack after use, just like the other one. Extends the duration of dual cast HP attack plus by 6 turns. Changes Mycidia's Ice Crystal plus and plus plus / great from 1 hit to 2 hit. So now he's getting, just like with Bluff Extend, now he gets a 2-hit HP attack. In addition to the HP attack on the main target, it will deal splash damage of 40, 60, 80, and 100% damage to other targets depending on the state of the ability. So basically, once you use, you know, Ice Crystal plus and then plus plus and then great, basically I'm assuming after that 4th one that you use, it will turn into that final damage modifier of 100% splash damage to all enemies, which is absolutely insane. And he's gonna be an amazing, you know, wave clearer. If you're farming for stuff, he's gonna be amazing for that. And then his final thing here, it moderately raises dual cast potency, which is probably just the damage. So he's gonna be dealing a lot of AoE damage, a lot of single target damage. He seems to be a very, very strong character once he gets his 60 enhancements. But you know, before this, I can't really say that he seems very strong. Like, judging from what his command abilities do beforehand, he doesn't really seem to be that impressive. But maybe the video will change my mind. I'll just make this this point now. I'm not gonna pull for Palom. I don't have any kind of ties to this character, so I don't really see myself pulling for him. I don't think I need anybody on the banner because I don't have any of their weapons anyways. So the only one that I think on the banner is worth pulling for at this point would probably be Vanille, and she's just Vanille alone doesn't make it justifiable for me to pull. So I'm just gonna completely skip this banner. But anyways, his weapons here, his Stardust Rod. Okay, so this was his EX weapon. Equips the ability Stardust, which we read about earlier in his command abilities. His Fairy Rod, which was his 35 CP, increases the potency of all variations of Mycidia's Ice Crystal and that of Wisdom of Black Magic. Extends the duration of dual cast and increases its potency. Increases its max usage by 1 and turns Mycidia's Ice Crystal into an HP attack for its last use. Now that is actually very, very good because it gives him an extra use, and as we saw before in his command abilities, he doesn't really have that many uses to begin with. So having that extra max use will go a long way for him. Now his 15 CP, the Mycidia's Rod, raises the bravery gain and lowers the action delay of Bluff, Bluff Plus, and Bluff Plus Plus, increases the potency of Power of Black Magic and extends its duration, extends the duration of Bravery Attack Plus, increases its potency and lowers its action delay. Not too bad, but I think the real winner here is definitely his 35 CP. And then of course his armor is the Black Robe, which raises max bravery plus 220 and attack by 72. See, like these are the kind of robes that or like the kind of armor that I think that all attackers should have. I don't like, for example, Kuja. I don't understand why they gave him initial bravery instead of just giving him max bravery. It just doesn't make sense. Initial bravery is I just don't see that as being a viable thing to give to attackers. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, his armor is good. He has the strong version of the armor, like the max bravery and attack. Those are the two stats that I think all attackers should have. Alright, let's move on to his artifact passives here. So he has Bravery Guard Up, raises defense power by 5% when Bravery is over 50% max Bravery at 1 star, and 10% with the 2-star version. He has Buff Attack Up, raises attack by 2% while buffed, and 5% with 2-star, which is good. This is always one of the good ones. This is always one of the better buffs to have when you're, or one of the better passives to have when you're getting your artifacts. Bluff Bravery Gain, raises Bravery by 5% of initial Bravery after using Bluff, and 10% with the 2-star version. And that's kind of just like, I don't really know. I don't really think that's going to be too viable for him, but I think I'd prefer to have Buff Attack Up, or anything else really. And then his final one is Mycelia's Ice Crystal Power Up, raises the Bravery damage dealt by Mycelia's Ice Crystal by 5%, and then 10% with the 2-star version. If it were me, if I were actually using Palom and I was going to decide to pick artifacts, I'd probably be going for one-way attack, obviously, because his attack is already extraordinarily high. He's gonna have a lot of damage potential. Max Bravery most likely as well, to try and be able to have enough breathing room to deal maximum damage, because he seems like he's gonna be able to deal a lot of damage. And then I'd probably go for Mycelia's Ice Crystal Power Up or Buff Attack Up to further increase the amount of damage that I could possibly do. So those are my 4 artifact recommendations as of this point, as of looking at his passives and looking at his information here. He doesn't really seem to be that impressive overall, but his 60 enhancements are definitely where his strength lies. So anyways, let us jump on over into the Gacha simulator of this video, and I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, so here we are at Palom's banner. Now, as I always say as a disclaimer, I want to say take these pulls that I do here with a grain of salt, because this banner, like, I mean, throughout all the stuff that I've done on this channel so far, like, these banners aren't always the most accurate. Like, you guys will see a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be there, that won't be there when you do the pulls in on the actual live game. But like these are the only simulators that we have for these banner draws. So this is just a good helper to let us know what we can expect when we do these draws. However, it's not perfect. It is not an accurate representation of the actual banner draws themselves. So as always, just take it with a grain of salt. And if you see something that's wrong, that shouldn't be there, like just kind of like ignore it. You know what I mean? Like it's not perfect. We're never gonna get a perfect banner simulator. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on into this. Of course, I have here my my table here that subscriber Chris Inger made for us, and I still don't know if I'm saying your name right. I hope I'm saying your name right. But thank you for continuing to make these for me. This actually helps me a lot when it comes to doing these banner drop videos. Now, as you guys can see here, he even wrote a disclaimer here, since the game is all about RNG. There is no guarantee to achieve the same results. So we have the featured characters here. We have Palom, Banil, and Edge, and of course, we'll be trying to draw for each and every one of their 15 and 35 CPs to get an accurate representation of what it will take to get each character. So let me explain a little bit about these, the way I do things here. So here we have the 10 sets of data going down. These are the draw attempts to get one of each of their 15 and 35 CP weapons, and across the top here are the characters, of course, Palom, Vanille, and Edge. So basically, once we do a draw and we get one of Palom's 15 CPs, we will put the number of draws that it took right there, and then we'll continue on and so on and so forth until we complete the entire set of tables here. And then of course, once we fill in the data, because Chris was so nice to set this up for me, it'll automatically calculate all the averages and all that stuff here, so I don't have to do any of that work. It'll just help me get things done faster. The only thing that I really have to do is input the data, and that data will be, you know, spit back out. So that's really good. So let's go ahead. Oh, actually, let me get rid of this here, and this and this and this and this and this, because I believe this is from the last one. So anyways, let's go ahead and do this now. Let us go ahead and start the first draw. Of course, again, I say this with a disclaimer. Take this with a grain of salt, because this is not the most accurate representation, and you would have to do many more draws than what I do here to get the a super accurate representation. Even then, it probably won't be. But anyways, let's go ahead and do our first 10+1. Alright, so the first 10+1 was an edge 15 CP, I believe. Yes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go over to edge, and we're going to put his 15 CP as a 1. And over here, inside of this, we'll be putting down how many of each weapon we got across all draw attempts. So now we have just 1, and now we'll continue. We'll do another. Let's see what we get here. We got 2 off banners, so we're gonna put 2 in the off banner section. So let's go ahead and do another 5k. Let's see, another off banner, so we're going to add 1 to that. Another 5k. So we're on the 4th draw now, and we got Vanille's 15 CP. Yes, I believe that's it's 15 CP right there. So let's go ahead and that was 4th. That was the 4th one, correct? Yes, the 4th. So we'll go over to Vanille, and we'll put in a 4, and we'll put a 1 next to her drawn weapons. So now let us go on, and we got 2 more off banners. So let's go ahead and add 2 more to this, and we'll put a 5 there. This is the going to the 6th draw. So on the 6th draw, we got Edge's 35 CP weapon. So we're going to go ahead and put a 1 next to a 35 CP, and since this was the 6th draw, we're going to put 6 in his 35 CP side. So let's go ahead and see, we got 3 more off banners as well, so we're going to add that into our off banner section there. And let's go ahead and continue on down the road. So we got another 35 CP and 2 more off banners, so we're going to add another one to that. And it was 2 more off banners, correct? Yes, 2 more off banners, so this goes up to 10 now. And yes, this is very long. This is a very long process, guys, so bear with me. Okay, so we got Palom's 15 CP on the 8th draw here. Not looking too good for Palom, but we'll see what happens from here on out. Hopefully we get his 35 CP and Vanille's 35 CP here soon. So we got another 15 CP. Oh, I forgot to add that in to Palom. So that's 2 for Palom on 15 CP and another off banner. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Alright, let's go on to the 10th pool here. Another Palom 15 CP. Oh, now he's, you know, bringing out his stuff here. 11th pool. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so on the 11th pool, we finally got Palom's 35 CP. So we'll put an 11 next to his name, and we got another Edge 15 CP. So we'll change that to 2, and an off banner. So that goes up to 12. Now, oh, oops, did I? No, I did not put that there. Okay, so I had to put 1 there. Alright, so let's see if we can get Vanille's 35 CP. Stop. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, why is he stopping the video here? Now, future Zalits here, and I just want to point out, guys, that I'm going to stop this, you know, pool shenanigans here, because I did like 120 draws. Literally, I've been at this for like 35 minutes now and have not seen Vanille 35 CP. So instead of killing myself and making you guys sit there and watch all of it, I'm cutting it here so that so that I can tell you guys all I'm going to be doing is excluding Vanille 35 CP from this chart, because for whatever reason they didn't stick, or the simulator didn't stick for 35 CP in there or something. I don't know what's going on, but it's not showing up. So, and I've done this multiple times already. As I said, I've already done this like 130 times or more, and it has not shown up. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to focus on the 5 other weapons that are there and give the averages on those. I'm sorry for that inconvenience that I could not give you Vanille's 35 CP average, but I it's kind of unfortunate because I said that this was that she was probably the one to look forward to on the banner, but she doesn't show up. So anyways, let's just continue the video from there. And yeah, okay guys, so here are the results. Again, I am so sorry that Vanille's 35 CP is not within the pool of data for pools on the simulator. I'm not sure why that is, but anyways, as you see here, this is the way that I do things to fill out the chart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here and fill out the rest of it, and then I will be back with you guys in just a moment. Woo! Alright, and I'm back after doing all of these pulls. Now, here we see again, like I just want to clarify again, sorry for not having Vanille's data here. It's not my fault, it was the simulator's fault. But anyways, as far as everything else goes, we see that for Palom here, we got a total of 64 total between all 10 attempts here. And for his 35 CP, we had about 57. So it seems like his 35 CP is a little bit easier to get overall. Vanille's 15 CP, from what I gathered here, it doesn't seem too hard to get hers either. And then by far, Edge seemed to have the best overall, with a grand total of 40 for his 15 CP and 51 for his 35 CP, which rounded out altogether adds up to about 7 draws for Palom's 15 CP, 6 for his 35, about 5 for Vanille's 15 CP, and then about 4 for Edge's 15 CP, and 6 draws for his 35 CP as well. And then over here on the right are the overall drawn weapons that I got. So overall, over the course of all 10 attempts here, I got a total of about 22 Palom 15 CPs, 16 of his 35 CPs, 20 Vanille 15 CPs, 21 of Edge's 15 CPs, 22 of Edge's 35 CPs, and about 117 off banners, which may seem bad, but it's actually pretty normal, since off banners are pretty common, especially when you're doing these draws. So don't expect the difference, don't expect it, but it's to be expected that the number is pretty high. And then of course down here on the average draw chance, we see the averages that I got overall. So for Palom's 15 CP, I had almost a 20% chance to get his 15 CP here. For his 35 CP was a little bit less than 15%, which is not bad. These numbers aren't actually that bad. For Vanille's, it was about 17, almost 18%. And then for Edge, he obviously, of course, like I said before, had the higher values of all 3 characters, with his 15 CP being at an 18.5, almost a 19%, and then his 35 CP being at a 19, almost a 19.5% chance to get his 35 CP. And the off banners, of course, expect to get at least 1 off banner per draw or something like that. So, that's to be expected. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out if these averages are actually right. And let's check this out with the simulator. So let's go ahead and reset this. So let's see. We're aiming for about 7 total to get everything. So let's see if we can get everything within like 7 draws. Alright, so first draw here. First draw, we got Edge's 35 CP, so that takes him out of the way. Next up, second draw here, we got his 15 CP, so that takes out Edge completely from the equation. So now we're looking for Palom and Vanille. That third draw takes out Vanille. Alright. Fourth draw, fourth draw, fourth draw. No Palom just yet. We're still looking for Palom. Fifth draw. Fifth draw, no Palom. So far we've taken out Vanille and Edge, but still no Palom on the sixth draw. Seventh draw here. Seventh draw, we got Palom's 15 CP. Still no 35 CP yet. Let's see how many it takes to get his 35 CP. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know, if you are pulling for him, this kind of stuff can happen, especially with the simulator. But let's see. Let's just keep going until we get his 35 CP. We're already closing in. All right, so we got Palom's 35 CP on the 11th pull. So overall, he was up on his. He almost had double the amount of draws to get his. Almost double the average that I had here for his 35 CP, but everybody else seemed to fall into place between. Actually, I think his 15 CP may have been beyond that one as well. But Palom definitely seemed to be the outlier here during these averages. So it's unfortunate, but you know, sometimes this happens. The averages are just there to kind of give you an idea of what to expect, but they're averages. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. They're just averages. Sometimes it goes above, sometimes it's underneath. So that takes care of the draw simulations here. Again, I keep saying it, but Vanille, it's very unfortunate that I could not get the data for Vanille, because as I said at the beginning of this video, I felt like Vanille was the highlight of this banner, because Palom didn't seem to be that outstanding from what we saw. And Edge, well, Edge, his 35 CP really only works for his smoke bomb, which isn't that. I mean, it makes him more. I think it gives him like a very high chance to dodge. I'm not really sure what else I think it gives him an extra use or something like that. And it's just not. It's not something that increases his damage overall as a character. So I don't value it too high as a. I don't value him too high as a character, as it is. Like, I mean, he has his niches, but he seems to be. I think it taunts the not taunts. Or is it? Does it taunt? I'm pretty sure it taunts at some point. I'm not sure if it's during his enhancements or with the 35 CP. But I know at one point his smoke screen it ends up taunting, and like all the enemies end up attacking him. But because he's in that, he has like 100% dodge, so it doesn't. They don't attack him. So he ends up becoming a pretty good like tank in that sense. But he's not really a tank. He doesn't really do that much damage. But I don't know. I just don't really like the character that much. But anyways. That takes care of the simulations. Let's move on over into the trailer video for Palom, and I'll be switching that right now. Here we are at the trailer video for Palom. I already tuned the volume so that it's not blowing our ears out, and let's go ahead and start this and see just what makes him tick here. I'm not expecting for him to be that amazing, so. Let's see what he actually does. Okay. Again, I don't speak Japanese, so I can't tell what they're saying here. Just throwing that out there, just letting you guys know again. His costume is very strange. He's another one of the kid characters. Oh, whoa! He got mad bravery for that. What? But I guess that makes sense. Like he gets a very high amount of bravery back. Okay, so that was the HP attack. Oh, 4,000! Oh my lord! His attacks do a lot of damage, and he actually gets a lot of bravery back for using his abilities. Hold on, I gotta look at that again. So he used. So this is the bravery attack plus one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So he got like 2,200 bravery back from that. And then that. Wait, what did he use there? That was the bravery attack, correct? No. That was. Does that ability does the second ability do? What the heck? Okay. So it uses the blizzard attack first, and then the HP attack is also the blizzard attack. Okay. Yeah, he does a lot of damage. As expected, like he's his stats led to that lead to that conclusion that he's going to deal a lot of damage, and it does seem like that. I'm still I'd probably have to actually sit there and use his abilities, but he seems like he's going to be a fairly decent mage, but I'm not too sure why he falls off so hard. Probably because of the 60s that come around. He probably just isn't because of the fact that he has to take a turn to activate all of his abilities, and he doesn't actually get any bravery plus HP attacks. That's probably the reason why he's not favored so much amongst many of the players in the community. So, I mean, he doesn't seem too bad. Like, if you're missing a mage, like, if you don't have Pabolimo, I mean, he seems like he's a very, very strong mage. But the fact that he has little, like, very, very limited ability uses makes him much, much less appealing, and he just doesn't seem to hold up. And that's probably, if I had to say so, that's probably the main reason why he's very unfavored at the moment, or well, when he's released, and that's probably because of his ability uses. Like, he did not seem to have very many, and that is going to be a major game changer for him as a character. Because if you can't use your abilities that often, like, you know, your longevity in a battle is very limited. It's very similar to the way that Setzer is. Well, yeah, because he doesn't really have that many ability uses, but once he runs out of ability uses, like, he's pretty much just dead weight. He doesn't really do much. I'm not saying that he'll suffer from the same thing, because he does seem to have a bit of longevity with his bravery plus and HP plus attacks, but even then, it's nowhere near the longevity that Pabolimo has, where he has, like, you know, 6 ability uses plus the 6 turns that he can use for bravery plus and or not bravery plus, but, you know, for the bonus effects of his passives that he can get out of it, so he doesn't have to constantly use his abilities. But it seems like he has to, or else his buffs wear off, and if you let the buffs wear off, he becomes significantly weaker. But that's gonna do it here for this video, guys. Palom seems to be okay. I don't want to say that he's good or bad. If I had to, he's probably in the middle. He's not strong, but he's not weak either. Once he gets his abilities maxed out and all that stuff, he becomes a pretty strong force to be reckoned with. However, getting to that point is just it just takes way too long, and that's probably the thing that kills him the most. But overall, I mean, if you don't have a mage, if you don't have a very strong mage like Pabolimo, I mean, even then, I still don't even think you would benefit from pulling on this guy. But unless you really like the character, I really don't suggest pulling for him. I'm not pulling for him myself. I probably won't be pulling for a while from this point onward, because there's no other character that really interests me. Maybe Jekt, but even then, like, Jekt falls off because of the EX weapons and whatnot. It's just unless Square changes up the way that things, which we've already seen, unless they change up the way that the EX weapons or the 60s are released, I don't think that I'm going to be pulling for a while, because I do still have a lot of characters that I need to pull, like EXs for. Like, some minor characters, I mean, I don't know, like the one that I'm definitely pulling for is, like, you know, for Tidus and Kuja, for sure. And then, you know, we also have, like, Sophie and Kate Sith and all those other characters that just make the game so much simpler and that change the game overall. But, you know, those are just, that's way in the future, but I can already say that I'm probably going to be saving for a very long time now. So that's going to do it here for this one. Next up, I'm probably going to be doing the next parts of the like lost chapters finally, because I need to get those done and out of the way, so that you guys, if you guys are struggling with this, so that you guys can actually see those and understand how I do it. Be on the lookout for those, and yeah, until next time, bye guys.